Welcome to the 3-Point Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Raw results for the episode of March 30th, 2020. Birthdays from the 29th. Michael P.S. Hayes, born 1959. Mike IRS Rotunda, 1958. On the 30th, that is. On the 30th, Zach Gowen, 1983. Trent Beretta, 1987. And Sadie Gibbs, 1992. April 1st, birthdays. As I'm doing this video, by the time I get it uploaded, it will be the 1st. Randy Orton, 1980. And Jesse Sorensen, 1989. Roman Reigns announced that he is partnering with Media Planet on USA on its recent blood health campaign, which raises awareness for people to be proactive with their blood health. Proud to partner with at Media Planet USA on Twitter on its recently published blood health campaign, which raises awareness of resources for people to maintain their blood health and take proactive steps to catch conditions early on. Reigns wrote on Instagram, "Keep healthy and go the extra step to get those blood labs." Read the interview of personalhealth.com or find it in USA Today magazine. In the interview at this link, Reigns noted that how it's constant at work each day to get healthier after 2 battles with leukemia. It's like putting pennies in a piggy bank every day, Reigns said. It's compound interest. That's what I have to constantly remind myself of. CML, chronic myeloid leukemia, is going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm going to be on these medications, so I have to do something every day to make myself better and healthier. It's just constant work. Also noted, Reigns reportedly pulled himself off of WrestleMania after not feeling comfortable competing at the Performance Center. Being immunocompromised, Reigns didn't want to risk his health with the ongoing outbreak. Bobby Lashley reportedly missing out on WrestleMania 36, billed for his match against Aleister Black due to concerns related to the coronavirus pandemic. Lashley was originally scheduled to be on the March 16th Raw for some form to participate in the build for the Black feud. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, however, Lashley has been out in South Africa the week before to do promotional work for the tour that was moved from May to September due to the COVID-19 outbreak. And because of his international travels, he had to be quarantined when he returned. According to the Observer, Lashley vs. Black was reportedly taped this past week on the 2-night WrestleMania 36 broadcast in early April. Noted before that Lana being available for WrestleMania actually led to WWE putting Lashley back on the WrestleMania card in the match with Black. Lana had been away filming the Cosmic Sin sci-fi action movie with Bruce Willis in Georgia. But because of the coronavirus impact on Hollywood work, she was available earlier than expected. Lana's availability led to the decision to move forward with Lashley vs. Black, which had no build. Lashley not being on Raw since March 9th, when he easily defeated Zack Ryder. Black defeated Seth Rollins by DQ on the same Raw, which was the night after his no DQ match win over AJ Styles at Elimination Chamber. Black then squashed Evolve star Leon Ruff on the Raw 23rd. WrestleMania 36 will be the first meeting between Black and Lashley ever. Thanks to a source of Wrestling Observer newsletter. The next set of WWE tapings are scheduled for Friday, April 10th, according to PW Insider. The tapings are set to be held at the Performance Center in Orlando. Thus, the lift is supposedly to be on April 9th, but we'll see about that. Because I was told by a birdie that the April 13th ban on stay at home has been extended to April 30th. The coronavirus outbreak has been extended, at least here in Louisiana. And that the Texas borders cops are sitting there waiting on any Louisiana travelers that are heading into Texas. They will be stopped and getting fined. That to me is kind of unfair because everybody has been traveling from New York into Louisiana. They should also stop New Yorkers from traveling as well into the state of Texas, because on the road traveling is not going to stop your flying inside the United States. I don't know if they are planning to lift the ban on traveling by plane from outside the country into the United States as of yet. The tapings would be for April 10th SmackDown on Fox episode, which is the post-WrestleMania 36 edition of the show. 205 Live episode for that night will likely be taped as well. Also noted, WWE taped the post-WrestleMania edition of Raw this past week at the Performance Center. So if there was any backouts, it's already been taped. And another friend of mine named Andre texted me earlier today on Tuesday and said that the match between Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre will not happen. I haven't seen anything else from any dirt sheets whatsoever stating that match was canceled or put off. So, to me, that was taped on Wednesday night, and it still is in effect. That's usually the biggest Raw of the year after Mania, but it will be interesting to see how things end up this year. PW Insider noted that it's confirmed that the April 8th WWE NXT episode was also taped last week. That show will feature women's ladder match to crown a new number one contender to NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley, currently. Plus Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano with Triple H announced for an empty building somewhere match. Thus being WrestleMania if Ripley retained her title against Charlotte Flair. WWE is set to resume tapings at the Performance Center on April 10th. Also confirmed on Twitter. Next set of tapings, thanks to PW Insider on Twitter, tapings are set to held at the Performance Center in Orlando. These tapings will be for the April 10th on Fox episode. Well, I just told you, so I won't go into the same news that I got it off of Twitter. Okay, WWE will not be able to tape in Orange County, Florida, where the Performance Center and Full Sail University are, until Thursday, April 9th, due to the stay-at-home order that went into effect on Thursday night last week to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. WWE made sure to tape what they needed before the order began. WWE expected to continue taping at the Performance Center and Full Sail after the post-WrestleMania shows. Stay tuned for more updates on the WWE schedule changes. SmackDown superstar Scott Dawson of the Revival was recently shared a few videos of matches from his collection to help fans get through tough times during the coronavirus pandemic. Well, Dawson had uploaded some videos to his personal YouTube channel, but one video almost instantly received a copyright claim from WWE. This was not confirmed, but it's very possible that WWE didn't actually order the copyright claim, but that the video was automatically flagged by YouTube software. This has happened to a few WWE talents in the past. Back on March 19th, Dawson shared 2 of 3 falls match between the Revival and American Alpha at an old WWE NXT live event at Poughkeepsie, New York. That video is still live on his channel, and you can see it at this link. As Dawson uploaded a video from the Revival versus Undisputed Era at an NXT live event in San Antonio. That is a video that was almost instantly blocked. The video now has a message that reads like this. Video unavailable. This video contains content from WWE, who has blocked it on copyright grounds. Dawson included a message with the tweet that linked to the video and wrote, another rare match from my collection to help you get through these tough times. Revival versus Undisputed Era from San Antonio, Texas. Please do a world of favor. Stay home. We're in this together. Enjoy. Dawson responded after the copyright claim was issued and wrote, sorry guys, I tried. The Revival hasn't been used on WWE TV since early February. While it still appears that Dawson and Dash Wilder will be leaving the company soon. And you can click this link to the latest backstage report on their contracts and how Dawson hasn't been paid in several weeks. Also, previously reported, Miz was off the WrestleMania 36 card due to an illness. Dave Meltzer is reporting at F4W Online that the scheduled match between The Miz and John Morrison was changed to just John Morrison facing one of the Usos in a ladder match. It was reported earlier in the afternoon that Asuka and Cesaro were currently out of action, although the specific reason was not known. Meltzer noted that both actually worked WrestleMania, and they added that they also had no health issues. It's the first time in a long time that they reported something as an exclusive that turned out not to be accurate. The reporter did remove the article and apologize for the error, and promised to do my best to make sure that doesn't happen ever again. As WPW Insider reported that Murphy, also scheduled to appear on Raw this past Monday night, however, was not cleared for the show. Meltzer added that Murphy was sick and did not attend this week's TV tapings, thus WrestleMania as well. Another WrestleMania change has reported over the past 24 hours, including Roman Reigns taking himself out of the match with Goldberg, while Andrade was also pulled from the show after he suffered an injury. Andrade will be replaced by Austin Theory, who will team with Angel Garza to face Raw Tag Team Champions and the Street Profits for their titles. It was announced on the WrestleMania 36 Go Home edition of Raw that U.S. Champion Andrade is currently dealing with a rib injury. I told you on the SmackDown video that he was possibly injured. Injury was announced by Zelina Vega right before Andrade was to team with Seth Rollins and Angel Garza to face Kevin Owens and Raw Tag Team Champions and Street Profits in six-man action. Vega ended up announcing the WWE NXT superstar Austin Theory as Andrade's replacement for the tag team match. But Owens and the Street Profits still got the win. My thing is, Austin Theory was a face in NXT. Now he's a heel on the main roster. It looks like Theory may be affiliated with Vega moving forward because she announced him as a hottest free agent no more. Regarding Andrade's rib injury, Vega called it serious, but that wasn't reported last week when the injury was first revealed. It was noted last week that Andrade's rib injury was very minor, but had been bad enough that he was not going to be medically cleared to compete at last week's WrestleMania 36 tapings. Andrade apparently suffered the injury during last week's Raw when he and Garza teamed up to defeat Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. They then participated in a post-match run-in with the Profits. After the six-man match, WWE then confirmed that Theory will replace Andrade at WrestleMania 36. It will now be Theory and Garza challenging Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins for their Raw Tag Team titles. Still no word yet on when Andrade will be back in action, but I'll keep you updated. It's interesting that Theory is already making his WrestleMania debut, as he just debuted with the company in August 2019. The former Evolve champion and WWE champion, the WWN champion, was signed after participating in a February 2018 tryout at the WWE Performance Center. Theory just lost to Tyler Breeze on last week's NXT episode. He defeated Isaiah Scott back on March 4th NXT episode, but lost to Tommaso Ciampa on the February 26th episode. The tag team match on last night's Raw was Theory's main roster debut. The taped WrestleMania 36 event is scheduled to air on Saturday, April 4th, and Sunday, April 5th, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. our time, probably 5 p.m. pre-show, as I was told, probably just highlights. Via the WWE Network and pay-per-view. It was taped on a closed set with no fans at the WWE Performance Center and other locations. And there was only 3 matches taped on Wednesday night as it was advertised. And that was your main championship matches along with The Undertaker. That was taped elsewhere. Thus, a graveyard site. The kickoff pre-show will begin at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on both nights. It will also have a live coverage beginning then. Live coverage from a taped program. WWE announced that a new Where Are They Now episode will premiere on the WWE Network this week, featuring former WWE superstars Gene Snitsky and Eva Marie. They will be available on demand at 10 a.m. on Thursday, April 2nd. WWE Raw superstars Zelina, Vega, and Aleister have launched a new YouTube channel. Their first video can be seen at this link, which is a teaser trailer for the channel. From A to Z, it's what it's called. Aleister to Zelina. Channel will take a look at the real life couple doing what they do when they're not working for WWE. But you could likely expect to see some behind the scenes shots from work as well. It was noted that Black and Vega are planning to release new YouTube videos on Monday and sometime Saturday. Of course, the first video is seen at that link. Vega just started pushing the channel, but it was created on Saturday. They currently have 996 subscribers. Tonight's taped WrestleMania Go Home edition of Raw from last night from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida saw indie talent Jason Cade make his debut. He lost to Aleister Black, which you can see at this link. Cade currently teams with Rich Swann on the Indies and works for promotions such as Pro Wrestling Revolver, 01 USA, AAW Wrestling, and PWX Wrestling, among others. He is the current PWX World Heavyweight Champion and one half of the Revolver Tag Team Champions with Swann. Cade tweeted on the match that took place in the empty WWE Performance Center and joked, "Only reason I lost is because I got distracted by a fan." I think when he went by, he got fanned. He went by Aleister Black when he ducked a move and got fanned. He got fanned like he was supposed to hit him. Tonight's Raw, last night's Raw also saw the main roster debut of NXT superstar Kaden Carter, the female who lost to WWE Tag Team Champion Asuka before it was announced that Alexa and Kairi Sane will defend their tag titles against Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania 36. Carter, formerly known as Lacey Lane, signed with WWE in July 2018 and lost in a quarterfinals match of the 2018 Mae Young Classic Tournament. She lost to Candice LeRae in the ladder match qualifier on last week's NXT episode and then lost to Asuka again on last week's main event episode, which was her official main roster debut. Carter has made several more NXT TV matches, but this was her first Raw debut. And if I'm not mistaken, she also was on the SmackDown episode, again against Asuka. Tonight's the squash match over Cade comes right after Black destroyed Evolve star Leon Ruff on the March 16th episode main event. And then squash Ruff again on the March 23rd Raw episode. Black has been wrestling indie wrestlers due to Bobby Lashley's being off. The tape broadcast opened up on the USA Network with a video package on a feud between AJ Styles and The Undertaker to hype their Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36. The camera cut to a pre-recorded promo from The Undertaker. He's basically dressed like he was when he was doing the American Badass gimmick on a motorcycle. Yeah, with a bandana over his head. Well, he addressed AJ Styles and calls him by his real name, Alan Jones. Well, thus only because that AJ in his promo used Mark Calloway as Undertaker's real name from last week's Raw. Since we're getting real here, he said, Taker says AJ is a small man with a big mouth. Taker doesn't know if AJ has a big set or he's really just that stupid. Either way, your mouth is writing checks your butt can't cash. Taker bets AJ thought that he could drop some pipe bombs and get under his skin. Taker has heard far worse. Taker says there may be some truth to some stuff AJ said. He goes on about how AJ knows that he didn't have what it took to hang back then with guys like WWE Hall of Famers Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Booker T, Mick Foley, and many others. The best. Taker says AJ waited. Well, by the way, AJ was with Booker T when Booker T was with Impact Wrestling. So Taker was wrong about that. Taker says AJ waited until they were gone. He goes on and says Allen has stepped in something he can't get out of. Taker gets it. It's just business. But AJ crossed the line the first time when he mentioned her, his wife, Michelle McCool. Taker goes on and says AJ must be mad McCool does the Faith Breaker, a.k.a. the Styles Clash, better than him. Taker says AJ will pay the ultimate price for disrespecting her. Taker wearing a black leather jacket and a skull cap. American Badass Gimmick says if AJ wants to be relevant at WrestleMania 36, there's no better way to make that happen than The Undertaker. Try him, he'll make you famous. Taker hopes he can bring those two ass clowns stealing Jericho's gimmick lines, who commented on Twitter today. He's got great respect for Undertaker. He can say as many gimmicks, steal as many gimmicks from Jericho as he wants. That Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson with him, but they will feel the Holy Trinity he's bringing. They will hurt, feel pain, and most importantly, they will rest in peace. The bell tolled, and we see AJ's theme song appear in the background. It was just highlighted throughout the video, going back and forth and what have you. Tom Phillips, welcome to Raw. He joined in by Byron Saxton as they hype the Boneyard match, which is a graveyard match. Still to come, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar will be here. Also, Hall of Famer Edge, Street Profits, and Kevin Owens will face Seth Rollins, Andrade, and Angel Garza in 6-man action. We see a video from earlier today. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch driving her 18-wheeler again into the parking lot of the WWE Performance Center, as it was supposed to be her WrestleMania in Tampa entrance. Becky steps out and admires the truck before walking into the building. We got a commercial. Back for the break, Greg Hamilton does the introduction as Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch comes out to the stage inside the empty Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. We see how she attacked Shayna Baszler with a steel chair during last week's interview with Charlie Caruso. Tom and Byron hype Baszler versus Lynch for the title at WrestleMania 36. Becky takes the mic and talks about her big WrestleMania 35 main event over Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. She says that she's been walking the razor blade thin line ever since. Let's take a look. And they show a replay of that match with Flair and Rousey last year, the triple threat. We see the ring entrances, and then they take a commercial break. The match goes on for several more minutes before we take another break. Back for the break, more replays, action. We take another break with SmackDown preview. We take another break, come back to the match. We come back again. Finally get to the finish of the match. We saw Becky win the Raw and SmackDown Becky 2 belts. Championship win. Becky's back on the stage now. She says that's the first time she's watched that match back. Becky goes on about Baszler and the title. She says Baszler was right when she said taking the title from her would destroy her. Becky admits that she doesn't know who she is without being champion these days. She knows about Baszler's demons too. She goes on and says Baszler just wants to do what her pal Ronda couldn't do. That's her demon. Becky says Baszler will take the spotlight. Ronda couldn't for once, or if she loses, she will get put back under Ronda's shadow. Becky goes on with her promo until Baszler attacks her from behind with a curl through the clutch. Baszler drags Becky over to the announce table and slams her face first. Baszler talks some trash and launches Becky head first into the side of the announce table. Becky is clutching her neck and shoulder on the ground in pain. Baszler picks up the title belt, looks at it, and then tosses it back onto Lynch. Baszler stares at the fallen Lynch as Raw goes back to commercial. Aleister Black versus Jason Cage squash match. Back from the break, out comes Aleister Black to the ring. Enhancement talent, Jason Cage, waits in the ring as Black makes his entrance. The bell rings, Black goes right to work, leveling Cage out of the corner. Black sits up on the mat. The Cage is alarmed. He stops and asks the referee what's going on. He goes for a kick, but Black catches it. Black then nails a few quick shots. He misses one, and then nails Black Mass to get the easy win. As Cage caught one of the kicks, and then a reverse kick for the Black Mass. After the match, music hits, Black sits back on the mat again. Tom Heights Black versus Bobby Lashley again. Go to replays. We see footage from last week's promo. Seth Rollins on Kevin Owens. Rollins will team with Andrade and Angel Garza to face Owens and Street Profits tonight. Back to commercial. Which that match is up next. In my opinion, it should have been your main event. Because to me, it was the best match of the night. We go back to the ring. Out comes Raw Tag Team Champions, Street Profits. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Kevin Owens is also out to join his partners. Angel Garza was out next versus Zelina Vega. Vega checks the mic and announces that WWE U.S. Champion Andrade has suffered a serious injury to his ribs. He's not medically cleared to compete. However, she does have access to the hottest up-and-coming talent in WWE. She then introduces WWE NXT superstar Austin Theory, and out he comes, calling him the hottest free agent. No more. Theory marches to the ring with Vega and Garza. Seth Rollins is out next to join them. Ford raises the tag team title and taunts Garza and Theory with it. The bell rings and Owens looks to start with Rollins. Rollins immediately tags in Theory, who encourages him. Owens rocks Theory to start the match and beats him into the corner, unloading and beating him down. Dawkins tags in, and then he immediately tags in Ford for the double team. Garza tags in, and they grab him, slamming him on top of Theory for another double team. They get sent out to the floor. Ford runs the ropes and leaves out, taking Theory and Garza down on the floor. We go to commercial. Back for the break. Ford goes out with Garza. Garza drop kicks him in midair, then snatches his pants off in the middle of the ring. Garza drops Ford again and tags in Theory to keep the offense going. Theory covers for a 2 count as Vega cheers him on. Ford tackles with Theory and sends him to the apron. Theory comes back and drops Ford on for a 2 count. Theory keeps control of the match with 4 arms and more strikes to Ford as Vega cheers him on. Ford counters the move and tags in Dawkins. Dawkins decks Theory, then knocks Rollins and Garza off the apron. Dawkins ends up on the floor, running Garza over. Dawkins runs back in and runs over Theory. Rollins runs in and super kicks Dawkins out of nowhere. Owens talks trash as Rollins taunts him. Rollins taunts away while Dawkins is down in the middle of the ring. Rollins chokes Dawkins with a middle rope. Garza with a cheap shot while the referee has his back turned. Theory comes back in and keeps Dawkins down in the corner. Garza tags back in and keeps Dawson grounded, manhandling him on the mat as Vega cheers him on. Garza rakes at the face like a thumb in the eye and keeps Dawkins down for another 2 count. Rollins comes back in and gets the cheap shot in, also taunting Owens. Rollins wins the sling blade on Dawkins. Rollins mounts Dawkins with lefts and rights as Vega cheers him on. Rollins taunts Dawkins catches a super kick and backs Rollins, rocks Rollins with a big right hand. Owens tags in, as does Garza. Owens unloads on Garza, but Garza kicks him. Owens drops Garza and hits a senton splash in the middle of the ring. Owens talks trash to Vega and hits a corner cannonball on Garza. Owens goes to the top, and hits the swanton on Garza for the 2 count. Ford comes in and nails an insecurity on Owens. Ford runs and leaps at Theory on the floor. Ford apparently hit the bottom of the ramp as Theory moved. It looks like Owens ended up hitting a stunner on Garza in the ring, covering for the pin and the win. But after the match, Rollins immediately runs in and nails a stomp on Owens. The curb stomp. We go to replays. Rollins makes his exit as his music hits, and we see Owens recovering in the ring. Till it comes epic, Brock Lesnar is here. Tom leads us to a preview for the big show on Netflix with his new family. Which stars veteran WWE superstar Big Show. Show premieres on Monday, April 6th. Back to commercial. Go back to the ring. Kevin Owens still struggling to get back up. We see replays of what just happened. And Owens says Seth Rollins may have just kicked some sense into him. Owens says he's been thinking a lot about Rollins said what he said last week and after what just happened. He has a lot to say and knows Rollins is watching. So listen up. Owens recalls how Rollins said last week that he never trained in this building, but it was built because of him, and everyone should thank him. He was in NXT. Owens says he heard this place was actually built despite Rollins. Owens heard Rollins was an arrogant dipshit. Owens is well aware. Yeah, I said it. I do apologize. There may be some kids watching. My dog, one of my dogs, put his 2 cents in. Back to Owens says he heard this place was actually built despite Rollins. Here Rollins thought he knew everything and no one liked him. Owens says Rollins has proved he is well aware of his own past and what people can say because of the path he's chosen. Owens says that the difference is he's not delusional like Rollins. Rollins proved him right last week by talking about all of his WrestleMania moments, saying he's a god when it comes to WrestleMania, while Owens is just a disappointment. Owens says those words stung and stayed with him, but the more he thought, he realized Rollins' view is just as wrong. Owens goes on about how he can claim the same accolades that Rollins can. Owens says he's man enough to admit that he didn't get his accomplishments and moments on his own, and he had someone helping him in some way. Owens says he's sorry to burst Rollins' bubble, but Rollins always had backup, or found some underhanded way to get what he wanted. Owens says Rollins needs to be honest with himself because the only thing that he said last week that made sense was he was told that his past didn't matter when he first got to WWE, and nothing he'd done before WWE mattered. Owens says that will be so true this weekend when they get in the ring at WrestleMania. Their past won't matter. All that matters is how they are going one-on-one. Owens will show Rollins that he's not a god when he takes his first WrestleMania moment from Rollins. Owens says this Saturday will be the one to burn it down. Owens drops the mic and his music hits as he announces hype the match. Thus, they only taped 3 matches for Saturday, but you know how they always do, 3 matches, and then the other 10 matches on Sunday. We'll see what happens. Yeah. From the no fans in the arena. Back from the break, we see a video package for the last man standing match between Randy Orton and Hall of Famer Edge. At WrestleMania 36, we go to a pre-recorded promo from Edge. He says Orton may have been right about his recent comments on Edge being a junkie for this. Edge says he just loves the feeling that he gets from fans in the arena, the raw connection and the energy he gets from them because he comes from them. Edge says, let's face it, we're all junkies for this. He recalls being at ringside for Hulk Hogan Undertaker with a Hulk Hogan Ultimate Warrior match. He says if you're not a junkie for this, you're just in his way. Edge goes on about grit and says Orton isn't jealous of him. He's jealous about his passions. You can't fabricate passion. Either you have it or you don't. And Edge has it. Orton only has it when Edge is around. Everyone sees it except Orton. Everyone is saying Orton hasn't been this good since Edge was around 9 years ago. Edge says he inspires that passion in Orton, and that scares Orton. Edge goes on about how Orton won't be able to pull himself back out after the beating at WrestleMania. So to come second, Asuka's here, back to commercial. Asuka versus Kaden Carter. Back for the break, out comes WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Asuka by herself. Tom confirms that Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss versus Kabuki Warriors for WrestleMania 36 with a title on the line. NXT Superstar Kaden Carter awaits in the ring. Asuka takes the mic and yells something, ranting on at the empty crowd, and Carter asking who is she. The bell rings and Carter immediately nails a dropkick. Carter goes to work, but Asuka hits the hip attack. Back and forth between the two. Now, Carter with a springboard drop kick for another 2 count. Asuka counters and drops for another ankle lock into a German suplex. Asuka delivers a big kick and then drops Carter back into the Asuka lock for the submission win. Yep, that was a rough match to watch. After the match, Asuka stands tall as we get the replays while her music hits. Asuka stops at the announce table and puts her headset on, like she's going to announce the next match. Asuka apparently has words for Bliss and Cross, but no one is translating, and she's speaking in Japanese. Back for the break, Tom shows us what happened earlier in the day, as NXT Women's Champion Rhea Ripley was arriving at the Performance Center. Charlotte Flair attacked her from the side and kicked her into a wall. WWE officials rushed over to get in between them. Flair looked down at Ripley and taunted her, calling her a rookie. Flair told Ripley she will see her at WrestleMania, then tossed a woo before walking off. Ripley slowly gets back up on her feet and quietly says yes, Flair will see her this weekend, and she smiles. Tom leads us to a replay of the no-holds-barred match between Rey Mysterio and WWE Champion Brock Lesnar from 2019 Survivor Series pay-per-view. We take a few commercial breaks and come back to the finish of the match. Announcers hype the WrestleMania 36 card as Dominic made his pay-per-view to help out with the finish as they finish the match with a double frog splash. Pinfall double. Brock kicks out and immediately as Dominic gets back up, climbs up to the top rope. Brock immediately gets up and does the belly-to-back suplex for that. And then the F5 to Rey, finishing the match and retaining the title. Heyman begins his promo discussing how he hates pulling back the curtain and he loves the magic in the business, how they entertain the fans. Heyman says this is the final Raw segment before the WrestleMania 36 that is too big for one night. Heyman says they call this the go-home segment of the go-home Raw before WrestleMania, and for the last 20 years, more often than not, it's your champion Lesnar that has stood in here in his go-home segment. Excuse me, when has Lesnar been there for 20 years? Why is that? Because year in and year out, Brock is the beast to slay. The Conqueror, the one to beat on the biggest show of the year. Heyman says this year is Drew McIntyre, and has truly stepped up. Heyman compliments Drew and shows respect. He says Drew is that special compared to the guy on the street, that he's been special compared to the dumb ones in the gym who say he can do that WWE stuff, that he's that special compared to the special roster in the locker room. He's that special. You know who else is special? The Rock, who got laid out and beat by Brock. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, who had his blood wiped across Lesnar's chest like some medieval warlord conquering the past. I'm going to have to do a Google search on that match or YouTube search to find that match, because I don't think that ever happened. Brock versus Hulkster. Randy Couture, Shane Carwin, John Cena, The Undertaker. They were all special, legends, icons. Heyman says, but when they got in the ring with Lesnar, they were not so good, dang special. They were just Brock's B-word. Lesnar continues to stare straight ahead, says nothing as Heyman hypes him up. Heyman downplays the Claymore kick because all the other icons had big moves as well. But none worked against Lesnar on the day where it mattered at the bell rang. Now that Lesnar knows the Claymore is coming, either he will master a strategy that will deny the Claymore, or he will eat the Claymore, and then we find out if the kick can take down Lesnar. Well, it did several times before. Heyman has something for us. More than a spoiler or a prediction. A guarantee. He says Lesnar will be standing here next year in the Go Home Raw segment. With the title over his shoulder, Heyman will also be talking about Drew also had a great story to tell. Better than others, but he got beaten ugly in 2020 by Lesnar. Heyman says Drew is walking in special this year, but walking out just like everyone else. Nothing more than Brock's B-word. That's the final Raw before WrestleMania 36 goes off the air. If he knows more than what I know, how is Brock going to be at next year's when he's not even signed to be there that long? Well, that concludes my report on Raw for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. Of course, for SmackDown, we'll have your main event. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on video. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.